Good evening, advancers. Good to see everybody on the line tonight. And we got Nikai in view. All right, we're looking at some spiritual vibes on Nikai and all of that good jazz. We're going to talk tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. And so let's go ahead and get started. Father, we thank you for tonight. We thank you for the advancers that are on assignment that has come into the community. Calls us to be profitable. Calls us, you are the one that gives us the ability to obtain wealth. So calls us to be profitable today. We want to bring your name glory and honor. Give us the skill set. Give us the wisdom that allows us to pull profits out of the market. Yeah, let lessons learn, let wisdom go forth, let understanding be unlocked so that we can advance kingdom. We pray all of these things in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right. Well, how's everybody doing tonight? This evening? Good to see everybody on. Let's see who we got. Corey, what's up? Good evening. Paula, good evening. Diana, good evening. Who else is on? Judy, good evening. Jeremy, good evening. Brian, good evening. It's good to see y'all tonight. And let me go ahead and clear some things that is currently, let's go filling orders already. All right, so Nikkei tonight. Let's jump into it. All right, cool. All right, so Nikkei tonight, setting up. We went through analysis on Tuesday. This week we looked at potential of where it can go, which was really good buys. And as you can see, we're in this uptrend deal. Price is moving up. I got the VWAP turned on. This was from a while ago, but it's relevant. Let's bring this over. All right, so Nikkei sold off a little bit, created a high, sold off, created a level of support. We got the double bottom. It's that's that pattern that we talk about where it tries to climb out. All right, so it's doing that little climb out deal that it does. And then it climbed out a little bit and pulled back. So we have a level of resistance tonight that we're working through, right at 0. I pulled a fib from, and let's see if, let me make sure everybody can see this. Let me enlarge my screen. Let me get rid of that so we can be a little wider. That looks good. All right, so, and then we have this big push up, right? So we measure, so we hit this, we're getting resistance here. All right, that's number one. That's number one. Number two is we're getting support down here. That's number two. So we went up, pulled back to that deal, and then we pushed up, got a level of resistance. And so right now we got that cup forming where it looks like Nikkei is trying to climb out, but it needs some help. We got this cup forming, and currently we're doing this little handle deal. And what we are waiting for to see if we're going to climb out of this, get on top of that, and then keep going up. That's what we're seeing, if that is possible. But and I just remembered something. Let me go to Forex Factor, because somebody, yeah, Bank of Japan's governor is supposed to be speaking, and I think he's speaking now. Let me just check. Let me double check that. Because it's like when Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks. But when he's facing, look at the headlines are going on. 25 minutes. BOJ will remain vigilant to unstable market moves, says governor. Ooh, that was just as of 25 minutes ago. An hour ago, Japan's inflation picks up as, oh, he's in a hearing. All right, so that's currently going on. A little volatility going on in the Nikkei markets, and looks like he is under fire, right? So markets is starting to sell off a little bit. We're eating up this this 1 hour candle, went all the way up here, and we retraced, closed, and we're eating up. Now, right now where we're at, let me grab my, let me zoom in on this so you can get a close up to this price action that's currently occurring. We're seeing if this level is going to hold. I don't think so, but we're seeing if this level is going to hold. And that's really going to be the place. It may dip a little bit below this. That may be the place where we find the buys. That's what we're looking for tonight, by the way, if you haven't noticed. We broke through right here. We did a pullback. We measured that pullback. We're right around the 50% level. We're just seeing if these buys are going to play out. Well, right now we're above VWAP, so we should get a push above VWAP. And then this is what's giving us resistance up here. And so it's having trouble closing in that area right now. And we like the tweezer bottoms, but this is the third touch right there. And we're just waiting to see if this candle is going to hold up. Let's go down to the 5. Yeah, you see all these touches down here? Touch, 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 touch. I go on 3 minute, see a little bit more touches. 1 minute, get a little bit more touches. So what do y'all think about that? Do you think we should get long from that position? Good evening, everyone. Who else came on? Marika's on, Dr. Denise is on. Ooh, my mic is a little muffled. Thanks for letting me know. Can't be having that. All right. How was that? Is my mic still muffled? Sorry about that, everybody. Is my mic still muffled? Let me know. Check 1, 2. How do I sound? Check 1, 2. Let me know. Let me know. Can you hear me? Or am I still muffled? All right, so that's what we're looking at tonight. I'm going to take a small position here. Actually, I'm not going to take a small position. I'm going to take 3 contracts here. All right, I'm going to hit the buy button. I'm going to pull off a little bit below that on the sell stop. And okay, sounds good, sounds fine. Okay, perfect. We're going to roll with that. All right. Long position. We got a long position again. Commissions are really high. Governor is speaking. Bank of Japan governor is speaking. So markets is a little more volatile than what we're normally used to. All right, so that's what we're looking for tonight. And we got some obstacles that we're going to face with this trade. All right, so right now what I'm doing is risking a couple thousand a night. I'm only risking 1,200, but I'm willing to risk 2,000. I'm going to go to sleep and risk 2,000 tonight. Let's see. Let me think. Something's not adding up. The limit order. Yeah, 1125. Okay. All right, so I'm going for 3,000 a night, risking 1125, and knowing that we're a little volatile. Few things that we're looking at. This isn't really a TDI play. This is a pattern play. We're bucking up against VWAP right now. We got to climb on top of it. I'm turn that on. So you can see that we're rejecting off of VWAP right there. All right, so that's the first thing. And we're going to do our analysis thing. All right, but we're rejecting off of VWAP right now. So that's going to work against us on this, or at least work against me. I'm not sure if anybody else is seeing this trade. And if you don't see it, that's fine. Don't take it. All right, so we've been bullish. I think we're going to continue to be bullish. When you back test these, it's just a matter of where we get in. When you back test how it climbs out of these down patterns, number one, these are all higher lows that are being created here. And so where we're at right now is a higher low area, right? So that's currently what I'm seeing is that higher low there. All right, then I'm also seeing how Nikkei likes to climb out of those higher lows. It usually produces this cup and handle type deal to climb out of it. And then I need a big screen. I need one of those curved screens that you could just, or maybe if I just close this, there, now it's wider. Now it's wider. And then, yeah, so it comes out of here, and this gives you a head and shoulder deal, and then it retests that and then climbs out of it. Over here, it's a head and shoulder. Head, shoulder, shoulder, pulls back, climbs out of it. So over here, we're gonna see if we get that. We got the heads over here. We got the cup going. We got to pull back right down. We got a double bottom. And it's just a matter of where our stop loss is. If the entry, if we can time the entry correctly. And if we don't get it on this 8 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock may set up for it as well. So not a big deal if we do not miss it. I need it on a TV on the wall. Yeah. Yeah, with the recliner. All right, so it's working against us right now. It may not be ready, but let's just see if this level holds up. We got a good chance here. You know, if it hit stop loss and we had to do it all over again, I probably would. You know, because it's showing like it wants to push up from here. It's just missing the volume. And the governor, I'm not sure if he's done speaking or not. News reports are coming out now, but I'm not sure if he's done. I'm going to check something really quick here. Don't ask me how to pronounce his name either. Ueda. Okay, so I'm just trying to do some quick research while he is talking. Oh, we're breaking that level now, so that level is not holding up right now. So our 1100 is at risk right now. Could be a liquidity spike. We're touching 61.8, but it could just blast right through. And if that's the case, that's understandable. This is liquidity level below 61.8. The open's right down here. Session open is right down here. We're trading below VWAP right now. So there's a lot of things, and that's the thing about timing. You know, if you're thinking about the higher levels, it's about how you get up there. And so we got clear levels of support. Yeah, it's breaking it right now. It's coming down. All right, so that wasn't a good trade. That level broke. We're starting to come down for the sales. So let's see if this next level holds up here. Man, let's see where we get the break. But because we lost that first trade, now we're going to look for it to do some testing for us. And TDI, we're going to look at TDI now. All right, because it's not ready yet. So we're going to look at how TDI comes down. We're going to look at lower time frames to see how this 5 minute comes down, how that shapes up. All that stuff is going to matter now, which it matters in the first place, but I just like the way that looked right there. But it's coming down, and as it's coming down, is it coming down fast? Look at the TDI. Is the TDI coming down fast, or is it coming down slow? Is it proportionate to the overall move? All of that stuff is important. And I do want to talk about something tonight. Yeah, it's coming down equally. So it's moving evenly, but we'll let that come down. But I do want to talk about something tonight. And I was talking with somebody this week about the trading journey. I just want to talk psychology a little bit here. Yeah, it looks like liquidity. That may be liquidity. but we'll see. We'll see if it closes. Oh, it is closing. 15 minutes still has 10 minutes on it. 10 minutes, yeah, just opened up. So the 10-minute did close above that, but let's just watch this. Let's let it test itself a little bit. This is a key level. And like I said, it may be, I don't want to rush back into it since I took the first loss there. I don't want to rush back into it. But let's just let it set up and be patient with it just for a little bit. Wait till we get to the 30-minute mark into the session. Let's see if we get a turnaround there. Because there is liquidity where it's at right now. All right, so let's talk a little bit about just psychology. It is on this piece, because I was having a conversation. I think this is important, even more than strategy, is psychology. So today, yeah, this does look good. This may be the place where it turns around. So we'll see. And this may be liquidity right here. That one right there. Let me color this a different level. I'm talking in, I have one thought on pause as I do the analyst. I'm multitasking here. I got one thought that I want to get out that's on pause. All right, these are fair value gaps. That's what only reason I'm pulling those up. These are fair value gaps. I'm going to actually remove this because it's so next to structure. So we might as well just leave those up. All right, now I can talk through it. All right. Multitasking, y'all. All right, so yeah, I want to talk about this because I think it's important for us. And these are times where we got to develop mindsets as traders. And I think it's important. So the strategy that we're doing is highly successful. We have people passing challenges. We have blah, 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 blah. Highly successful strategy. If the more that you use it, the better at it you get with it. And so you have to trade what you see. If you see something, trade it. Doesn't mean that it's all the time going to go with you, but you have a skill set. All right, and so you got to trust your skill set. And doesn't mean that you're going to get it right all the time, but majority of the times you're going to get it right. And life is going to be good. All right, but there's this confidence that you have to have as a trader. And so I really wanted to talk about this because this morning I took like a $4,000 loss this morning, and just the trade went against me. On NQ. I'll just pull this up real quick. Trade went against me on NQ, and it went against me right at that $20,000 mark. So I was looking for it to climb on top of 20,000, stay on top of 20,000, but Tesla began to sell off, blah, blah, blah. And so the trade went against me and started to push down. And so we ended up calling different things. And all I did was just, I took a look at it, evaluated it, saw what the TDI was doing, how it was moving, and I just got into a couple sales. So I got into a down sell here, and then it pulled back, and then right around lunch wasn't doing much. Got into some sales here, and so made back the 4,000, which normally if I take a loss in the morning on our morning call, usually able to make it back right after that, because you can just look at the movements. And so the market will move, and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's what it's doing. And you can see what it's doing, and you can get right back into the rhythm of the market, right? And so when you take a L, your mindset still has to work. And what I thought about this morning is that, we're traders. Like it seems like a trivial thought, but we're traders. And so if you take a loss as a trader, you can't cut off your trading brain. I don't know if this is making sense, but I want to have this discussion that you cannot cut off your trading brain to where, okay, you took a loss here You thought this level of support's going to hold, it didn't hold and go your direction. You can't throw a hissy fit. Okay, let's call it that. You can't throw a fit, and you can't shut down your trading brain because you took a L. You have to now do what you've been training to do. You have to look at it and say, reevaluate and say, what do I look? Let me look at the levels. Let me start going through the analysis again. Let me be unemotional about the loss and just look at what the market's doing, see if I can find a rhythm. If you can't find a rhythm, then just step away from the chart and come back to it later. But a lot of times when you take L's, it could just be the time frame that you're trading in. It may not be, it may be low volume, market may be doing something kind of funky, and will throw your rhythm off a little bit. And so, but you can't turn off your trading brain just because you take a L. What I suggest people do is back up, take a look again, unemotionally. Like, okay, that was that, it didn't do that, and it came down pretty far, so that wasn't really a support level. You start to mark out fair value gaps. It tested the open. All right, it's now starting to get, it may start get divergent. You start to evaluate that to get yourself back in the game. And that's what I find people doing is they take themselves out of the game and they lose the rhythm. And then they talk about, the loss too long. And the market is geared towards, you have to find the rhythm. If the market's not moving, wait an hour and then come back to it and then see that the market is moving again. And if the market still isn't moving, go away, come back the next morning. And then you can get back into it. But it's a rhythm game. Your eye has to be able to see it. And so right around that 10 o'clock hour, about from 10 to 12, really from 10 to like 1, NQ was moving really well today. It was like that rhythm, this up and down motion was like, especially if your eye was geared towards the sales, like you can see that on the 1 minute, how fast that TDI was running up to the top and how many times it would run up to the top. And even now, something like this, where you'll be like, okay, well, if we're in this down, it's pushing up right now. Where is it going to? You can get in on that buy because TDI is moving kind of slow. It's moving slow. It's has a lot of momentum. So something's going on with NQ, and you can get in on those buys. But then you can say, mark out your levels, and you can see this. It'd be like, okay, once it gets up here, starts touching the bands, this may be a good sale. And so you'll wait a little bit, and you can get in on the rhythm and say, I wouldn't right now, but let's just say this was all the way up here in shark fin and it was divergence, and then you can catch the sale back down. And so you're not taking yourself out of the game, and I think too many people take themselves out of the game too early. Okay, you took a loss, but you don't have to take yourself out of the game. A lot of those days that you're going to have your biggest wins, you may have took some losses prior to that. NQ is moving pretty good as we're looking at it. All right, so let's, don't take yourself out of the game too early. And look at this. As we were talking through it, I didn't take it, but as we were talking through this, I thought this was the level. And but then we marked out fair value gaps here. And let me just go back to the 5 minute. That's where I marked it out at. So I thought these were the levels. And then we came down and grabbed liquidity. I was like, okay, I still think we're gonna in the buy. So I marked out 2 levels where liquidity could be gotten, and those levels hit. And now look what's happening. We're in buys again. We're back to the original. So if you took yourself out of the game, then you don't give yourself a shot at finding a good setup. Market's all about timing. Your timing may have been off, recalibrate, get your timing back. Professional sports, a lot of times what coaches do is they'll bring a good player, they'll sit them on the bench. The player may be overexcited, they may be playing emotionally, and the coach will bring them to the bench so that they can get a breather. They can calm down and just go back to executing their strategy, their game, and then they can go back in the game and get into a nice shooting rhythm. And that's what we have to do as traders. Is that okay? We took an L here, but let's reevaluate now. All right. So now we're reevaluating and seeing what the market is doing. And I don't want a one trade to erase. You're a trader, so you're more than one trade. You got to look, you got to see how the market is doing, and when you become really good at trading, and I suggest this for everybody, you got to find ways to dig yourself out of a pit. Like if you that was what was that, $1,200 loss? All right, you took a $1,200 loss. As a trader, you got to find a way to dig out of the pit, right? And it's just disconnect from the emotion, reevaluate it, and start to look for the next setup. All right. Okay, so now we're starting to look for the next setup. I just said all that just to say, keep yourself in the game. That's long story short. Keep yourself in the game. Keep playing the game. As a good trader, keep analyzing, see if we can find a rhythm. All right, so let's just find out what Nikkei is doing right now. We know the market is a little different tonight because the Bank of Japan's finance governor, is speaking, or he has spoke. I'm looking to the left because I'm looking for headlines, and there's a few headlines that are just coming out. And that may cause some delay in the movements that we're seeing tonight. Right. So yeah, the latest is 48 minutes ago. And this is the thing about Japan, they don't announce when they're going to make a change. All right, so they're talking about raising interest rates if the economy and price moves in line with its forecast. So they're talking about raising rates, right? And so whenever they start talking about raising rates, the stocks are going to start to suffer for that. So I think that's why we're seeing a little bit of the sell-off tonight. So let's just see if we can stabilize and if we're going to find any enthusiasm for the night, or will we just break through these fair value gaps? And it doesn't look, if we just look at the hour here, the movement isn't drastic at this point. Yeah, that's the I gotta say that often. It's like, well, Tim, why aren't you emotional when you take an L like that? And I'm like, I'm a trader. I take one L, but then I take a bunch of wins, and you take another L and take a bunch of wins. And if you have the proper risk management, just keep yourself in the game, keep finding rhythm, and when you're seeing the market, you're seeing it. All right, you're not trying to get ahead of it. You're not trying to force anything to happen. You're just seeing if you see anything. And I personally, I really don't like it right now. I wanted the buy. This is a nice cream candle, a lot of momentum that happened around 6:30. A lot of momentum there, and we're eating up that candle very slowly for the last couple of hours. Been eating up that candle. So really don't like that momentum and then that sell-off like that. So just kind of waiting to see what's Nikkei is doing, not forcing it. We still have support. This is still lower high, still thinking that. But this could very well turn into something. I'm not overthinking this, but this could very well turn into a neckline when we get a reversal pattern that occurs here to the downside. So that, don't want to overthink that. Just we'll see. We'll let price play out. We'll we'll respond to how it plays out. But right now, we're not. We got to see if this is just a liquidity grab. And that TDI doesn't want to move, does it? Yeah. Keep yourself in the game. All right, here it comes. Slowly but surely, huh? Reevaluate, recalibrate, whatever you have to do that. It's not a loss is not the end of the world. I know people are like, I do not like taking losses. Well, you're in the wrong field, because we need that room. We need that. You know, it would be nice to pull the stop loss down here, but you would have to go extra risk and or less risk, which means that for me the tick count, say it moved from here to here and my stop loss was way down here, for one contract, I just don't get excited about that to go up that high. I personally just don't. I'll be honest, I personally don't get excited for that. And so I had to keep a pretty tight stop loss to prove itself, but it is what it is. All right, we're coming down. Let me measure this. Let me see where we're at. All right, we're coming down to 78.6. This was the first liquidity to see if we're going. Right now, it just seems like we're getting lower, creating these lower highs. We still haven't broken the structure right here, so we could just dip down into this liquidity right here as well. Yeah, evaluation is, you're a technical analyst, so you have to be able to evaluate. And if you're emotional, you're not going to be able to evaluate. It's like, calm down. Let me see what's going on here. These candles are going to tell on itself eventually. Yeah. And this does, I mean, it looks like a down move. I don't want to go against that. You would need momentum to go against this, and we just don't have it. So I really don't want to go against this, but you know, the 2 minute, we're starting to touch the bands. We're currently divergent. We're going to get a pullback here. But with the VWAP just staring at us right here, it's not a ideal situation. And then, so bands are opening up here. Yeah, and then the higher we go, the more room it has to come down. Now we definitely could see a turnaround here, but again, VWAP is and we are in liquidity. We're in the 5 minute fair value gap, so we probably could see it, but that move right here, with us not holding as support and breaking through that, and then pushing up above again and then coming lower, doesn't give me the confidence for this trade, for this buy right now. Hey CJ, good to see you. All right, so we're just over the half-hour mark. Let's see what that half-hour candle looked like. Half-hour candle had a lot of exhaustion, y'all. And I'm telling you, I like the buy. I do. I know we're getting a pullback, but that's a lot of exhaustion. Now, I would have liked it to climb above VWAP. I'll be honest. Would have liked it to climb above VWAP. I'm kind of want to take the VWAP off at this time. I have an anchor to the session open, and so I kind of want to just take that off. It hasn't really been acting as major structure tonight. Well, I guess it has. It's been rejecting, but I do like this buy right here. All right, another thing that if you weren't on Tuesday, let me just show you what we're what environment we're in. If you go to the weekly candle, we did a top-down analysis. So month is coming down, but if you go to the weekly candle, where we did that, was that a couple weeks ago now, where we had the big sell-off, and then we hit structure, which we look left, and structure, if I was on a continuous chart, structure was right here. Let me go to continuous. Structure's right here. That's that weekly shark fin that is pushing up. All right, so that's the environment that we're currently in. This week, for the last 1, 2, 3 weeks, we've been pushing up. So we'll probably end August bullish. Right, so that's the current environment, and we have room to push up on the day. Right, so that's another reason why we're looking at these buys. 4 hour is above the 50, and it's ranging. I probably should have started off with this analysis. We did it Tuesday for those that were on here, but we're ranging above the 50, which is usually a trend to the upside. And we are retesting where we broke out at. So there's that. Hour is at the bottom. It's being retested. It's divergent, which is a consideration. Bottom of the band is right here. Not divergent, excuse me. Close to it, but not divergent. So that's why we're looking at buys. And here's the thing is, I like to look at the difference of, so this chart has a bunch of my markings on here. And all of my markings is supporting the buys right now. It's supporting long. So fair value gap pushing up. So everything on this chart, and I see the inverted head and shoulder right here, that we can push up to this level here. And so I can see that on this chart. But here's the thing about clean charts. This is the reason why you have to have clean charts. If I flip to this continuous chart, where I'm looking at the sales, that same chart, you can start to see the TDI coming down. You can actually see the sale coming down a little further here. And that's just the difference of having, coming in here. Part of the reset is just resetting your charts and seeing what you see. All right, so I'm gonna leave this one on. I'm gonna leave this one on. All right, so we're just over the half-hour mark, the 30-minute close with a large wick on it. And we're just looking for signs of sales or buy. Now, if it matters how it gets there. If it goes down slowly, we're not going to be in that. Yeah, 8 o'clock just may be the reversal candle. So this may be 9 o'clock, where we'll see how 9 o'clock opens up. But those buys do not look like it's going to play out. I'm going to get rid of this. This fair value has been broken through, so let's get rid of that. We actually closed beneath it, and that's important. When it closes beneath it, get rid of them. Don't keep them there. Yeah, we sold all the way down to that. Oops, leave that. Let's get rid of that fair value. And we are all the way down at 0% change right here. We're at 0.04. This purple line represents the open. So we went from about 71%, 0.71%, close to 1% gain on the day, and we're all the way back down. So that is just erase my enthusiasm for the buys there. and TDI is barely coming down. So sellers are in the market right now. I'm gonna go over and look at this NQ deal that we were looking at a little bit earlier, which is in a range and is moving nicely, like for scalping. This was the buy, then the sell. Not interested in tonight. Yeah, this is just coming down too slowly at this point. And we know that's 100% mark, but let's just see what it does when it gets here. Yeah, for me, it looks like it's going to break, but we have to wait. We can't take the trade now, and that's okay. Yeah, we'll see. With the way it came down, I'm not enthusiastic about it. I'm not excited about it. I'll put it that way. Not excited about it. And yeah, that level being broke on the 15-minute, this level here being broke on the 15-minute is made me not interested in the buys. Now, if this would have closed above it, then yeah, that would have been interesting. But right now, I think the sellers are in the market. All right, so we're just gonna watch this just for a little bit more. There was some questions. Is Corey still on? If you wanted to ask your questions, I forgot what it was, but you asked me to cover something in evening markets. Let me know if you still want me to cover that. If anyone has any questions tonight, let me know. We got a little bit of time left. We can cover some of your questions. As you're looking at, as we get off, it's going to be 9 o'clock Central Time. See if we hold above the open. This has retraced it down. It's now divergent. So we call that divergence. It's usually a signal of a reverse. Let's take a look at 30-minute. Yeah, 30 minutes not. But this has a lot of room to push up. So I think the buy is going to be there. It's just not ready yet. Yeah, has a little ways to come down. But the 4-hour is divergent. Yeah, we'll see how the 9 o'clock opens up, and because this may be something where we take this. We'll see how the 9 o'clock opens up. Because we have divergence on a 15-minute and the 4-hour, but the hour, 30-minute doesn't really look that way. Yeah, and the lower time frames are starting to open up now. Yeah, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to stay out of it for right now. I'm going to stay out of it for right now. I'm going to look at it again, probably around the 9:30 hour, just to see how it comes down, to see if this liquidity level holds and will it go back up. If you look at the ranges here on, let's go to the hour, look at on, how it sells off. Yeah, this is going to be a critical level. This is going to be a critical level. I'm not sold on it. So with that said, I don't have a trade. I don't have a trade for that. Once that broke, we'll take the L. It's sold off. Look for the 9 o'clock hour. Look for this area to be tested. There's no reason to make up something that's not there. I do not know at this point if this level is going to hold or not. So there's no point in me trying to make it up. I'm trying to find the words, but really what it comes down to, is just let it play out. Looks very bullish. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of candle. This 1 hour is eating up. So looks very bearish to me, if you ask me. And let's leave it at that tonight. You know, you can see the sells, you can see the buys. That means that you don't have a bias. Leave it alone, which is what I'm going to do. All right, I think that's it for tonight. I don't like this one. Took a risk here, took a little L. We'll come back in the morning and see what it does. Yeah, preserve that capital. Preserve capital. We'll leave it alone for now. But we'll be back in the morning. Usually we don't meet on Friday, but we have the world premiere of Dr. Denise and Nedra Power Hour. That will be a good segment. I'm excited about that one, and having those two launch their show. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So we'll end for tonight. Everybody, we'll be back on tomorrow for the Power Hour with Dr. Denise and Nedra. And yeah, we'll end it right there. All right, everyone. Have a good one. Thanks for showing up. Good charting time. And we will see you in the morning. All right, y'all.